It's your girl Ari, aka Nadia Sabe, aka Lil G, aka Princess of the Darkness, whole bunch of stuff. It's good to be back. It's been quite a few weeks since I've been in the studio, since I've been on air with you guys. But I'm very, very glad to be back in the building for Dare to Defy Radio, powered by Magnifica Radio. We're in the building. It's a beautiful Monday. I hope that the worst part of your week is officially over, and you can spend it by listening to some nice independent music, hearing about some music industry news, and chopping it up with yours truly. I've got a couple cool updates for you guys before we get into some music industry news, listen to independent music, and I have someone super cool to introduce you guys to. So updates. What's going on? I'm officially back in the swing of things, obviously, with the radio and with the podcast as well. You guys can expect new shows and episodes every single Sunday and Monday. Also getting all the content and stuff out from those, so definitely tap in on Instagram with me at Nadia Sabe Official. That's NADIE SABE Official. And you can also tap in with me with my company's page, Dare and Defy. That's DAREANDDEFY. Some other updates. I was just in Texas. I was in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest for a good week. That was a whole bunch of fun. My first time in Texas, my first time at South by, and I had such a great experience. Just to touch on it, like, for artists and for anyone in the music industry, conferences and conventions are just a whole different type of beast. It's very draining, and it's just, like I said, it's a whole different type of experience that you don't know about and are not prepared for until you go through it. And South by, I think, is another example. It's definitely the biggest conference that I've been to so far, and it was an absolute blast. There's always some hiccups and things that could be done better, but all in all, it was a really great time, and I'm super excited to hopefully continue building on the relationships I built over there and bring some resources back to Orlando. But since then, like I said, I'm just getting back into the swing of things when it comes to the radio show and the podcast. I need all the submissions that I can possibly get from you guys. Always remember, it's always free to submit here with Dare to Defy Radio. And if you are interested in sponsorships, having a commercial run, coming in and doing an interview with us, make sure that you get into contact. You can follow Magnifica on Instagram at Magnifica Radio Network TV. You can find all of their links through their social media, or you can hit me up personally and we can talk about that kind of stuff as well. But our dates are open, so come through, contact us, so that we can get you right. Some stuff that's coming up. We have the Dare and Defy Jam Session on the 7th, so this Friday. If you are a musician, either a vocalist or an instrumentalist, and you want to make art with people in real time, maybe connect with some new folks, definitely come through. It's going to be a great time. We are going to have a food vendor. The Mighty Dog is going to be in the building with some hot dogs and some chips and some other stuff along those lines. Working on other drink vendors and things like that at the moment. But it's going to be a great time regardless. That's also something that we live stream. So if you are tuning in from anywhere other than Florida, you can still participate. You can still see what's going on. Just tap in with me once again on social media at Nadia Sabe Official. From there, you'll find everything. Let's get into one or two little news stories. Actually, let's talk about one specific news story before we go on a little brief intermission. The TikTok ban. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have been seeing in your timelines about the TikTok ban. Maybe you've seen some of the congressional hearings and things like that are going on. And I wanted to talk about it because it is very detrimental to entertainment in the music industry. Obviously, TikTok and just social media in general is the primary way that most of us engage with entertainment. So it's really crucial to the industry, that tool. And having there be restrictions on that, or even possible bannings of the number one social media app in the world, is definitely something for the entertainment industry to look at and pay attention to. But it's just kind of important for everyone to know about. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Restrict Act, because that is what the TikTok ban's actual name is. And it's a really interesting, weird bill that is a bipartisan bill, which means that both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat, agree on this bill and they want it to go through, meaning that it probably will go through. Unless we, call our representatives and talk about it, which is why I'm on here talking to you about it right now. But to sum it up in short, what the Restrict Act does is it allows certain parts of the government, including the United States president, to deem communications apps and companies as foreign adversaries. And with that gives the government the ability unequivocally to do whatever they deem necessary to mitigate that foreign adversary. So the idea is that TikTok is a foreign adversary in the same way that Russia is a foreign adversary, and we need to, America needs to protect itself from TikTok. I'm not going to talk too much about opinions and stuff with it, but that's the basis of why TikTok is involved with the conversation. But the even broader thing, and I think the scary part about this bill, is the further context within it, because the social media and the banning of TikTok and other apps is the buzzwords around it and the stuff that's catching people's eyes, but it's distracting you from what this bill is, really doing, which is giving the government the ability to access way more data than they, maybe we want them to. Because when you think about like the idea of foreign adversaries, because it's also, there are clauses in it that have to do with aiding and abetting foreign adversaries and and prosecuting not only foreign adversaries but specific persons. And so, the line of thought, the line of questioning is, so how would the government know if I'm aiding and abetting with these communications apps or whatever? It's because what this bill really does is just give them access to all of the data and all of the information. So if you know what the Patriot Act is, the Restrict Act is basically the Patriot Act on crack and revamped for the new times. And it's kind of, they're disguising it in this sense of like, we need to be careful because we don't know what Web3 and the future of technology is going to bring, and we need to be able to I personally don't really buy that. I think if we want to get political with it, that TikTok, let's start with a few facts. Gen Z and millennials make up the majority of the population. Gen Z and millennials are also some of the most educated, and happen to be some of the most left-leaning and anti-establishment. And a lot of us are organizing and being informed through social media, through TikTok. And that actually resulted in the highest turnout rate in like the ages, I think 18 through 25 that we've seen in a really long time. And that scares power. So that's personally why I believe this is going on. But like I said, it's a bipartisan bill that is going to affect you on a day-to-day basis, regardless of who you are. So if you want more information about it, go ahead and once again, find my social media, find episode 42 of the Run It Back podcast. And there is a document that has a bunch of news links and things like that for all of the stuff I will be talking about today and also on that podcast. So go check that out if you need a or a jumping point, more information. But yeah, I have linked in there not only a summary but also the full bill itself as well. It's not super long. It's very interesting. And like I said, it will affect you on a day-to-day basis if it does get passed. So why not check it out? And once again, if you're in entertainment, it's going to probably even affect you even more because it has to do with your livelihood and, probably the most accessible way that you have to promote your music. So definitely tap in and make sure that you're paying attention with what's going on in the world. With that being said, I am going to go on a brief little intermission before I bring on a guest. I'm so excited. You guys are definitely going to be seeing this beautiful chick's face way more. And yeah, I'll introduce her in a moment, but I got to get the energy up, the anticipation. All right, y'all. See you in a minute.
Más música en un solo lugar. Un solo lugar. Magnífica. Magnífica. Magnífica, siempre en el corazón.
Yo, all right, we're back, and I have an amazing guest, like I had mentioned. So yes, Miss Thing, yeah, Gianna. I mean, man, we met what 2 years ago now, maybe, or maybe a year.
Almost 2
Almost 2
years.
years ago?
Almost
2 years ago at like a Women in Music mixer.
Yes, we love that.
You had kind of like just moved down.
Yes, I was
recently.
still very new.
Yeah, and really loved your energy. We're both super young, and I feel like that was one of the reasons we gravitated towards each other.
Instantly.
For sure. And I mean, yeah, from there, just I've been seeing you kill it. You know, we've been around each other and just continue building on a personal note, on a business note. Sai performed at my launch party, which is like
so dope.
A huge memory for sure. And that was like a super amazing time. So yeah, like I said, I am gonna be bringing Sai around on the show a lot more. Sai is like super multi-talented and multifaceted.
Oh my gosh,
but is like a super awesome rapper. But also is a model. And also happens to be an audio tech, and also happens to like know how to work a camera and do stuff with that as well. So you know, just a hustler and doing what she jack of all trades. Yeah, certified Swiss Army knife, baby.
Pretty much.
Absolutely. So yeah, I you know, we've been working on ways that we can just continue building on our relationship as business partners and as just bad girls, baddies. Gotta watch my language, you know. So yeah, she gonna be behind the board. She gonna be here on air with me. So if you guys want to book with Sai Raw Media, you know, tap in. So I'm gonna start asking you questions and stuff, but before that, just shout yourself out. Tell us where you're from. And just, you know, one cute little piece of information.
Okay, so I mean, my name is Sai. If you don't know, now you don't. Now you know. And if you already knew, then hi. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. So that's why Ari was saying, like, I haven't even really been in the Orlando scene for that long. This June makes it 2 years officially that I've lived here. So that's how I know
that
our friendship is approaching that 2-year mark for sure. Yeah. You guys can find me on all socials at Gianna Sai on TikTok, Instagram,
all that,
Twitter, all of it, everything. My media page is Sai Raw _uncut. I'm still growing it. I honestly just kind of wanted to be about capturing the culture and raw and uncut, unfiltered. Like, this is really what is going on. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then, you know, follow, tap in, all that. Like Ari said, I'm definitely going to be making more of an appearance here with her, which is very exciting because our energy is just always like aligning and on the same page. And something cute, I guess, love yourself always. Like, that's just my main, that's my main thing. Put you first, and that's it.
Okay, so, like I said, very multifaceted, but you are a rapper. I know you have a recent release that we're going to play. So tell me about the song Silence, and just tell me about the song itself, the kind of energy that it brings. Tell me a little bit about the creation process and where you hope to go with it.
Okay, so with Silence, I feel like this is one of the songs that I created that really embodies me and my sound. Like, I don't feel like Silence sounds like anyone else. I feel like with this song, I'm like on that path to really finding my voice as an artist. And honestly, like, I went to New York. I was like, I miss home. I was feeling homesick, and I was like, I want to go home. I went to New York. I went to the studio with my best friend, and I recorded Silence there. And honestly, actually, I re-recorded it because I recorded it out here. But that rough draft that I recorded out here, like, it wasn't hitting, like, it wasn't giving what it needed to give.
You needed the energy, the New York energy.
I went back home, and that's what it was.
That's what you needed.
So, like, honestly, the inspiration about Silence was I kind of just felt like, as a female who likes to make power moves and be about my business and be about my money, like, I feel like that's what being a bad is really about.
Right.
Like, I don't feel like, having a bunch of designer stuff, or if you could fight, or followers, like, none of that really makes you a baddie for real. Like, I feel like what makes you a baddie is being about your business, being about your education, being about you and what's gonna work for you. Like, so that's kind of where, like, the motivation for Silence came through, because I was just like, if you really bad, you don't need to flex. You know what I mean? Like, that your stuff is secured, and you're gonna step out when you need to step out respectfully, like a baddie should. Like, you know what I mean?
I love that. So let's talk more about that. So you talked about some baddie qualities.
Okay.
If there's a young girl out there somewhere who she want to be a baddie, but she just don't know how.
Okay.
What advice would you give to that person?
So for me, I have a little sister. She is 8 years old, super sassy, and she's a Cancer. So
she's emotionally sassy.
Yes, very much so. And she looks up to me a lot. So honestly, the advice I would give, it would be just like given to my little sister, and I would tell her to be a baddie means to be confident in yourself and be confident in what you believe in and be confident in what you stand for. And at the end of the day, if she loves her and she loves what she's doing, it doesn't matter what anyone else has to say about it. Like, because when you put all that loving energy into yourself, other people are gonna fall in line. If you walk into a room and people can see that you're confident, they're gonna fall in line, because they're gonna notice it, and they're gonna respect you because they can see that you have that confidence.
Absolutely.
So believe in yourself.
Yes.
That's the advice.
And so I'm gonna keep prying just a little bit.
Okay.
So, cause, like, let's be real. It can be. It's easy to just say love yourself.
Oh,
and be and be confident. So, just like one or two ways. Like, what are some ways that you show yourself love, or that you take steps so that you can be confident when you walk outside?
So honestly, for me, I've been wanting to talk about this topic for a while, because I came a long way, like, with my, excuse me,
No, you're good.
with my confidence journey, because I used to be at a place where, like, I genuinely did not like anything about myself, like, head to toe. I had an issue with everything, and it took me a while to get out of that. So yeah, I do agree. I'm definitely not telling you're gonna go to sleep and wake up and be confident, or and it's honestly a journey. Like, some days you're gonna feel like you're popping, you're gonna feel that confidence, and other days you're not gonna feel it as much. So it really is a journey. My two pieces of advice for wanting, or for how to gain confidence in yourself, one is affirmations. And I know a lot of people probably like tired of hearing that, but it's really the truth, because I used to
tried it though?
Yes, so I was gonna say, I used to be one of those people who were like, no, that's no. But once I really started, like, honestly, I would go into the mirror like when you wake up in the morning or just going to the bathroom, and I look at myself and I be like, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you got this. I even had created an affirmation jar for myself where basically you just write a bunch of, you know, affirmations, uplifting things, positive things, cut them up, put it in a jar, and every morning you get up, shake up the jar, pull out a note for yourself, and you keep that message with you throughout the day and remind yourself of that. And I did that every day for a while, to the point where I would literally go to the bathroom in school just to look at myself in the mirror and be like, I'm so pretty.
I'm just
like,
that girl.
You know what I mean?
I'm just that girl.
And then the second thing, honestly, photo shoots. Like, once I started doing photo shoots, especially if you have a really good photographer that makes you feel good, it's like a ultimate confidence booster. Like after, like in the moment, just having that person snapping photos of you, hyping you up, like, yes, get it, like that just feels so good and uplifting. That's honestly how I got into the modeling thing, because I wasn't trying to be a model at all, but the confidence rush that it gives me after a shoot, and then seeing the edited photos and the final creation is like, wow, like that's me. Like, you know, it's a good feeling. So
I think that those are two really good pieces of advice. And honestly, it's funny because like those cliches are like, they're cliches for a reason, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and like I said, like, yeah, you can talk about a coping mechanism as much as you want, but if you haven't tried it yet and you haven't seen if it will actually work, and words of affirmation, like I said, both of those are like super awesome. So I'm glad that we were able to touch on that a little bit, for
definitely.
sure.
I got more, but you know, you asked for two, so
yes, definitely. There's definitely more time eventually for us to continue delving in. But yeah, today I really want to I just want, you know, those who are listening to get a baseline understanding of who Miss Gianna Sai is, you know. So we're gonna brush through a couple topics, a couple things. So we know that you moved from New York. Yes. Tell us about, you know, what that process was like for you and how you're enjoying Florida.
Honestly, I didn't want to move. My mom had made the decision to move down here first, and for a good year, I refused to move down here. I'm not gonna lie, I had a little boo at home, so that was definitely part of the reason why I didn't want to leave. But also, I kind of just felt like, you know, New York was all that I knew, really, and like that's my home. All my friends are there, but what it was for me was I kind of just felt like New York just wasn't doing it for me anymore. Like I needed a change of environment, and well, you guys don't know, but Ari knows, like I am very spiritual, and so I kind of like end up doing like a reading on myself about if I should move or not, and it was honestly all good things that came from it. So I got to a point where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. Like I'm just gonna start fresh. I'm gonna see where this takes me. And honestly, like I could definitely say that reading aged well, because coming to Florida, I've gotten to do a lot of things and get involved in a lot of projects that I would have never been able to do while being in New York. And honestly, that's just because New York is not really a place of support, and that's just the truth. Like with New York, it's very cutthroat. It's very like you gotta have those connects. Like if your name don't ring bells, nobody really care about you. Right. Like it's not as supportive as it is out here in Orlando, or honestly I feel like down south. Really, it's just a different type of support system out here. So I've met a lot of people that they haven't even known me barely any time, and they've supported me in ways that I've never been supported by certain people that I've been friends with for years from New York. So I love Florida. I don't think this is my forever home. Like I don't know if I would live here for the rest of my life, but definitely so far, like I love what I've experienced. I love, honestly, that there's so much to do out here. Like there's a lot to do in New York too, but girl, I'm be broke, cause
that too,
everything is expensive out there. Like, but yeah, definitely enjoying Florida for sure.
I love that. I love that. So you touched a little bit about like spirituality and stuff like that. So is that something that you want to get into real quick and talk
Yeah,
about?
we can talk
cool.
about it.
So when you say reading, talk to us about like what kind of reading you're talking about.
So I know most people on the internet know of like tarot readings and stuff. Not a lot of people know about oracle. Oracle readings are, the difference is like oracle is a bit more like general, and it's always like uplifting. Not to say that tarot is negative, but there are certain meanings that'll be like, you know,
Right.
this relationship is toxic and stuff. With the oracle, it's never going to tell you something is toxic. It's always going to be an uplifting type of message.
Interesting.
And it's just a bit simpler to read. It doesn't go as detailed as the tarot cards would. So for me, with readings, I started with oracle. That's how I got into it. I got my first oracle deck from my mom, and honestly, I loved it. And I would just do readings for free for people, like. And it's really just about helping people, because I love helping people. At one point, I wanted to be a therapist, but yeah, that's a whole different story.
That's a hard job
So
to
this
have.
is probably the closest I would get to it. And a lot of times with readings is like people, when they come to you for advice or knowledge or whatever, it's really just like they either already know the answer to what they're asking, and they want confirmation, or they know but they're in denial, so they're hoping to hear something different. And a lot of times with the readings things, you know, people be getting scared. They be like, oh, witchcraft, blah, blah, whatever. Honestly, like, if you do your research, everything has to do with your intention. Nothing, a card, this water isn't bad unless I make it bad.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So it really is about the person and what it is that they're doing. Like, the cards ain't doing nothing. The cards are literally an object. What makes it good or bad is the person using them and the energy that they're putting into them. So for me, it's really just like, I like helping people. Like, I've had people literally break down and cry to me, like strangers. I don't even know them, but they've felt so comfortable with me about what they're going through in their situation that they were able to have that release emotionally. And it's funny because, like, I help a lot of people, and a lot of times the main thing is like they need to love themselves. That's like a common theme.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the biggest issues in the world for sure, because when you don't love yourself, then it's easy to, you know, hurt other people, and then you know, that's how it goes. So we're gonna go on a little break and love ourselves as we listen to Silence by Gianna Sai.
That was cute.
That was good.
I was just about it. It's I look like a pretty cat the way I move in silence. Bustin' like a chicken salad, you should come and try it. Money on residual, I watch it stack in private. Booty getting bigger, are you silly? I ain't buying. Yeah, I know they love me cause I make it look easy. Hating on me, but she know deep down she wanna be me. Smoking on that Zaza, yeah, for breakfast I had Wheaties. Blocking out the haters like I'm blind, just call me Stevie. Real bad bitches only stack it up in silence. Way I stack my money on the hush, yeah, keep it silent. Real bad bitches only stack it up in silence. Way I stack my money on the low, yeah, keep it silent. Real bad bitches only stack it up in silence. Way I stack my money on the hush, yeah, keep it silent. Real bad bitches only stack it up in silence. Way I stack my money on the low, yeah, keep it silent. My daddy kinda crazy, so let's not resort to violence. Riding with that chopper since I'm pretty, do you buy it? Always on the come up, but I'm sneaky, could be lying. Never know with me, cause with the plans I'm always hiding. Careful who you telling, baby, listen, just be quiet. Keep a tunnel vision, cause the snakes are always spying. Watch out for your bestie, never know who might be prying. Get up off your ass, go get your money while you crying. Real bad bitches only stack it up in silence. Way I stack my money on the hush, yeah, keep it silent. Real bad bitches only stack it up in silence. Way I stack my money on the low, yeah, keep it silent. Real bad bitches only stack it up in silence. Way I stack my money on the hush, yeah, keep it silent. Real bad bitches only stack it up in silence. Way I stack my money on the low, yeah, keep it silent. That booty looking fat, but when you
Magnífica, siempre en el corazón.
Yiggity, yeah. Hey, we're back closing the show out. Thank you so much. Miss Gianna Sai, for what am I trying to say? For coming on the show with me and keeping me company. You are always. Can I get a check from you real quick?
Check.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't on.
Yeah, okay, cool. But yeah, it's always just a pleasure to chop it up with you. You know, I love you just as a person.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to be bringing you around this spot more and just continuing to build on that. I know we have a lot of just fun stuff in the works.
Yes, y'all better stay tuned.
Yes. So real quick, shout yourself out. Any events or updates or things like that you have coming up, let us know.
Okay, so as I said before, you guys can follow me on everything at Gianna Sai, JIANNASAI. Upcoming events, April 23rd, I will be performing with Utopian Society. So you can tap in with me on my Instagram to get more details on that. Just letting you know, I don't be performing like that. So if I'm performing, y'all gotta come through. And May 21st, I know that's sometimes away, but I will be hosting my first all women's networking / mixer event. So I'm very excited for that. And again, stay tuned. You could tap in with me on more details for that on my Instagram. Oh, and how could I forget? The music video for Silence is dropping April 5th. That's like 2 days away. So I'm excited for that.
Yes. Make sure you guys go stream Silence and go tap in, subscribe to Sai's YouTube channel so that you can go and get updates on when that drops. I might have a couple cameos in the video, maybe.
Yes, yeah,
maybe.
for sure.
From her birthday party, we had a great time at her birthday. She had a little camp crew in the building. So yeah, I'm not sure what kind of embarrassing positions you got me in on there, but we're gonna find out. It's all good. If you don't know, my name is Ari, aka Nadia Sabe, aka Lil G, aka Princess of the Darkness, all of that stuff. And it's really funny because we were actually gonna go on at 8 and we're closing off on 8. So yeah, I'm gonna clip some of this stuff up. So if you didn't get to catch us in real time, you'll be able to watch back a couple of things. But yeah, if you guys want to tap in with me on social media, you can do so on Instagram at Nadia Sabe Official. That's NADIESABE Official. You can also tap in with my company's Instagram at DEFY. That is at DAREANDDEFY. Personally, I got a couple cool things coming up. I have this Friday, April 7th, the 3rd official jam session. That is a live streamed event as well. So if you're not Orlando or Florida local, you can still participate. You can still check out what we have going on by tapping in with my YouTube channel or my Twitch channel or my LinkedIn channel. So you'll be able to see all that cool stuff. That's a 6-hour long jam session and live stream that we do. So definitely plenty of time to tap in and catch up with that. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have food. It's going to be a splendid time. And it's going to be a whole bunch of cool cats in the building. It's just been growing and growing every time that we do it. And yeah, we're going to do that on a monthly basis. So just continue to stay tapped in. We just had the 42nd episode of Run It Back hit YouTube and all those other things that I mentioned earlier. So go check that out if you're interested in music industry news and learning about some new independent musicians and what kind of music they have going on. If you would like to submit to the podcast and possibly Magnifica in this here radio show, go ahead and send me an email or a DM. You can find my email through my Instagram, so please just go tap in with that Instagram, tap in, and you'll get all of the information you need. I also have a really cool email list that I send out every month that I put Orlando monthly event calendars on. So if you're a local who wants to find out what's going on in the city, definitely tap in with that. There's also exclusive updates and discounts from my company that come through there. So definitely tap in on that front. The 30th of this month, I also am going to be stage managing at Spotlight Reloaded with Leo Knight and Uncensored Media, my good friends and partners. So definitely tap in there. We have a great roster of artists that I am going to be rallying and make sure I'll get on stage on time. So with that being said, you guys, I will see you next week. Submit. We need the music. If you guys are wanting commercials, if you guys are wanting interviews, tap in, not only with myself but now with Gianna, because she can interview you if you want her to. Maybe you don't like me, but that's okay. That is okay. But yeah, stay connected, tap in, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Esto es
I'm like, we should do an ASMR.